Hey guys, it's the Chad, your C10 truck nerd. Well, it's almost time for the big 2025 auto swap meet in downtown Wichita, and I really wasn't sure if I was going to set up a booth again this year, but kiddo said she wants to work with dad, so we're going to do it. Now, the last couple of years, I've kind of dropped the ball and waited till the day before or the night before to start prepping, pricing, and cleaning all this junk up, so this year I'm well prepared. It's 5 days before, but looks like the weather's going to turn on me. I'm not sure we're gonna get this all done in time, but I don't know. Well, it'll be the night before, just like it is every year, because glutton for punishment. So over the last couple of years, I really haven't made much money at the swap meets. It costs 60 bucks a booth, and I've got 2 booth spaces there, and luckily the guy next to me hasn't shown up for a couple of years, so I've kind of encroached onto his spots as well, but it's really not about the money. My oldest kiddo loves doing all this truck stuff with me, and she absolutely loves the swap meet, so I'm gonna keep doing it until she doesn't want to work with me anymore. And it's kind of funny at the swap meet, it's mainly guys, there's very few kids, and there's absolutely no girls. So kiddo, she gets treated like royalty by all the other vendors. They bring her in breakfast burritos and donuts and shoot her with Nerf guns, and she just thinks it's absolutely wonderful. So I can't really pass up this quality time with her. So a lot of folks think that swap meets are a big waste of time and effort, and maybe they are, but I absolutely love them. It's a great way for me to go out and network with other car enthusiasts out there. I get a bunch of leads on truck parts, and in the end, I'm keeping a lot of used parts in circulation for those teenagers and guys on really tight budgets. Now, I don't claim to be a millionaire at the conclusion of a swap meet, and really I'm actually lucky if I break even, but I do have a lot of fun at these things. Now, I can sell a bunch of parts at a swap meet all at once versus putting a hood or a fender or a door handle on Marketplace one at a time, and you know, jerks on Marketplace. It's, oh, is it available? And would you take half price? And can we meet at 5? And then they never show up, so it does kind of get old. And really, if I came home with no parts, it would be awesome. Well, actually, I'd be sad to be like losing my right hand if I didn't have a bunch of junk at the house, but my wife would love it, and I would have quite a bit of money. Now, I am a little bit nervous that I don't have the inventory to fill up a couple booth space this year, because I've had a really good couple months, but I do have a couple buddies that said, hey, you know, I've got some stuff, I'll give you a little cut of the profit if you sell it for me. And had some other guys say, I'll give you half of it if you do. So I'm like, yeah, when can I come get the junk? Now, I've had other guys, you gotta be careful with swap meets, because when you tell your buddies that you do have a booth space, they're like, oh, can you lug in this T56 and, you know, ask 9,000 bucks for it, or can you bring in 6 sets of wheels for me, and then when they don't sell, can you bring them back home and then bring them to my house, and you get nothing out of it. So again, if you are running a swap meet, you got to get some money out of your buddies to help cover the booth space or some cut of it to be, you know, profitable. If not, I go through with big items and I said, hey, you know, I can take a picture of your transmission or these wheels, put it on the table with your phone number, and call it good enough. So a couple tips if you guys have never had booth space at a swap meet before is be careful what you bring there, because I can't get a trailer in behind my truck to the booth space we have. It's just too tight. So I got to jam as much crud in that crew cab short bed pickup as I can. And taking hoods and fenders and all that's been a huge failure. It takes up a ton of space. So I'm going to focus this year on taking a lot of smaller items, the stuff I can get just wedged into a bunch of totes. And I'm going to try to go through and have everything priced before I get there. That way, when I set up, I can start roaming around and seeing what crap that I don't need and buy it before anybody else has a chance. So that's kind of the plan. So if you guys are anything like me and you're tremendous parts hoarders, every once in a while you should go through and tell your wife, you know, how sweet she is for letting you completely demolish your garage or garden shed, basement, wherever you store all your junk, because it's bad, you know. I mean, seriously, maybe I shouldn't rename the channel to Sanford & Son, because this place is a salvage yard 364 days a year, and I don't know, that's a lot. So another tip I've got for you guys is to go through and price all your parts before you get to the swap meet. Now, I've been to a bunch of swap meets where guys are just too lazy to price stuff, and I get it. It takes a lot of effort to do that, but if you get tied up talking to somebody for 10 minutes and somebody wants to know what that hood hinge is worth, they ain't gonna wait on you. They're just gonna keep on walking and you might lose that sale. So just go to the Dollar Tree, get you a Sharpie and some masking tape. Do all your research now, you know, find out what the street value of some of these parts are. That way they're on the table. And maybe if you partner up with somebody else or somebody jumps over to watch your booth while you go grab lunch or while you go walk around, they have an idea what this stuff is supposed to be worth. I'm just saying, your goal is to sell all this crap. Now, one thing I've really failed to do at the swap meet the last couple years is to go through and advertise or promote ourselves. Now, Kiddo did make a poster board that said 67 to 72 C10 parts and had the YouTube channel name on it, but this year we're taking it a step further. We went out and got or had made two 2x6 banners that say C10 Truck Nerd, one for the table and one to put up behind us. We're also gonna bring a bunch of our shirts out there. We're just trying to grow the channel and expand our social media presence, and kind of jogged my memory the other day because I had a package sitting on the front porch and it was this sweet sweatshirt that my buddies from the Untitled Car Project podcast sent me, and those were the guys that I ran with at the SEMA show. Great group of auto enthusiasts. So if you don't follow their show, make sure you do it, and potentially if you want to be a guest on there, just reach out to them. So my plan is for the next 47 hours is to go through and find where I've hidden all these used parts for the last year. That way my wife wouldn't find them. Get them marked, get them cleaned up, get them in totes, and get them loaded up in my truck next week so we can get them out of here, but this is gonna take some time. So just about the time I think I'm ready for the swap meet, I get a buddy call me and say, hey, guess what, Chad? I got a bunch of stuff that you're probably interested in, and if you sell it for me, I'll give you half the profit. And so I said, yeah, I'll help you out, and thought I had a pickup load, so I've actually drug his trailer home because there's so much stuff here. A lot of good pieces on this trailer and a lot of small. I mean, there is a whole lot of everything on here, and that's not where it ends. It then leads into the bed of the truck, which has got a ton of smalls, fenders and short bed floors and intakes and weather stripping, steering wheels. And I'd love to say it ends there, but no, it continues some more to a complete full F-150 crew cab here. So it's a lot, and it keeps it more and more front seat. Yep, I got problems. Well, it's T-minus 5 days until the swap meet, and I'm up bright and early to go check out a bunch of C10 parts that I absolutely don't need. And I really can't blame myself on this one because I had several buddies go through and say, hey Chad, you see this guy that's got all these parts for sale? Hey, did you see all these parts for sale? And well, I guess it is my fault because then I messaged the guy and said, hey, can I come check out these parts? And he's like, please do. And he's one of our subscribers, and he kind of laughed and said, well, I wondered when you were going to holler at me. So we're going to make about an hour trip down to the next town and see what we can buy. Well, this is gonna be bad. All right, so I didn't really plan on buying a bunch of stuff, but you know me, of course I did. Filled the whole back of my truck up, and don't forget I got a crew cab, so I was able to go through and put a bunch of trim back in here too. But that guy had a lot of cool stuff, super nice guy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this junk, but it's out of his hair and in mine now, so thanks Chase. But I'll give you guys a bigger breakdown once we get this stuff back home. Well, guess who wasn't impressed that I've just brought home a tremendous amount of parts or junk this week? It's the wife. So let's offload all this stuff and show you what I got. Okie dokie, so here is all the stuff that we brought home, and it's a lot, and I won't lie, I paid a pretty penny for some of this stuff, but once you look into these boxes, there's 5s and 10s and $100 bills all over the place. I've got tons of headlight bezels, wiper transmission arms, tailgate parts, 10, 15 wiper motors, tons of exterior handles. This thing is full of just hinges and trunnions and latches. This is all full of interior lights, so I've got, interior and Cheyenne cab lights. But look at all these. I mean, probably 100, 200 sockets and backing plates for all these trucks. Tons of lenses, most of them are used, but a lot of side markers. This whole box is almost full of new ones. There's a bunch of AC parts and vents in there. Oh, 100 or so. Window cranks and door handles. Another box full of miscellaneous lenses, 40 or 50 Trico wiper arms. Then we got all this. So a lot of this is 67 to 70 front windshield and back window trim, which they don't repop it back then. So it's a pretty good chunk of money sitting right there. And got me a couple NOS 67, 68 grill hoops and a couple other painted ones. But all in all, you start putting this stuff together and that's a big chunk of money and a lot of crap to organize too. Dang it. So I think we scored pretty dang good out of all that. I don't know if I'm gonna get all this stuff to the swap meet or not, but why do I buy all this crud? You know, part of the side hustle we have is selling used parts, trying to keep them affordable for guys on tight budgets and all these young teens trying to build these old trucks. So I'm gonna keep chugging along with this stuff. I'll throw them on the shelves. Eventually we'll sell them and use them all, but I hate seeing stuff go to the scrapper when these are all really good parts. So we'll keep them in circulation as long as we can. So one thing I like to do before I list any parts for sale on Marketplace or even taking them to a swap meet is I like to clean them up. I doubt it brings me any more money, but I do think it makes them a little bit more desirable when you can actually see the part that's not covered in grease. You can tell if it's bent or broken, and I truly think that's why I get a lot of repeat customers, because they know I'm not selling them junk. Now I've got to get all this stuff loaded in the bed or inside the cab of my truck, so the last thing I want to do is be covered in grease and screw up all my seats. So it is going to be a benefit that way. And I don't know, I've got the OCD tendencies, so just having clean stuff just lets me sleep at night. Well, most people think I got a lot of junk, and this is just the stuff that needs washed. Yikes. It's a lot. Now, I've already got tubs of stuff already done, ready for the swap meet, but yowzers. So I had a buddy reach out to me this morning and said he's got a few C10 parts that I'd probably be interested in. So I loaded up the girls. We're gonna go see what he's got. But unfortunately, I could see in the background, he has got quite a bit of stuff. And you know, with my self-control, I'll probably end up with all of it. But I don't even know we have enough space at the swap meet for all this crud that I've been bringing home this week. I mean, it's been like a trailer, 3 truckloads, filled the cab twice. Kid, you've got hoarding problems, just to let you know. It's not your dad. Oh boy, let's go see what we can get. Hoarders. Alrighty, we're done, and Dad planned on picking up 2 parts. How many parts did we pick up today, girls? 858. So pretty much everything that he had for sale we brought home, and I didn't even have near enough money, but he said, fine, give me what you got, and we loaded the bed of the truck. We got 4 days till the swap meet, and it's out of control. Thanks for going with me.
Welcome.
Don't tell Mom.
I will.
Yeah, I know. That's okay, to be honest, but it's bad. All right, we made it back home, and let's show you what today's hoard looks like. So like I say, bulk buying or trying to buy everything in a package deal is just the way to go. You get more bang for your buck because people want to get rid of junk, and some of it's junk and I'll scrap it, but there's just a lot of smalls in here worth 5, 10, 20 bucks. So we got some pulleys, a power steering pump and bracket, bunch of Trico wiper arms. I got lights, ashtrays, a booster, more pulleys, an auto column, an auto brake assembly, 369 to 72 e-brake assemblies, hood hinges, carb, 7-blade fan and a new clutch, fuel line, hood pops. I mean, just lots of miscellaneous crap, but it's worth quite a bit of money. And you know, I think I'm done. I don't want to buy anymore. This is a lot, and if my wife doesn't take me out after this, like, you know what that means, like take me out, I think I'm doing pretty good, so it's a lot. Well, surprise, surprise, it's the night before swap meet setup day, and I'm just now getting all the crud out into the garage to start marking it and cleaning it and all the fun stuff. But I tell you, it's been a week. It has been so cold. I'm gonna get the torpedo heater out and start warming the garage up, and I'm gonna be up all night drinking Red Bulls or Zima, whatever. It sucks. Alrighty, it is now 10:39 p.m. Kids are finally asleep, and I'm back out here in the shop. Got the torpedo heater, you know, on full burn, and I've got to mark. So I'm hoping I'll be done by 1, 2 p.m. maybe. I don't know. It's gonna be a late night. Alrighty, we're coming together pretty dang good, getting things organized. Got most of it priced so far. It is now 12:21 in the morning, so it's tomorrow now, and I'm fading. I probably got maybe another hour or two I'm gonna work out here tonight, and we can fine tune and box everything up in the morning after I get the kids to school, but I'm sleepy. Alrighty, so it's a little after 1 a.m. and I've got about 90% of this stuff priced and organized here. I have to get the rest of it in the morning. I got stuff hidden in some of the trucks and back outside in the shed, but show what we got so far. Here you go, folks. The life of a hoarder, and this kind of shows you why my wife's always pissed off at me, because I just store this crud anywhere I can find it. But we got wheels, big block headers, LT headers, cross members, gas tanks, gaskets, door panels, consoles, one of the first aftermarket AC units, these control arms, license plates, grill supports, tons of wipers, e-brakes, brake pedal assemblies, sweet 6970 grill there, 1 column, 2 column, 3 column, 4, 5. I mean, that seems like a normal amount. With 4 clusters, lots of beauty rings, center caps, drop springs, taillight bezels. It's excessive. And then this is some of the stuff I haven't priced yet. Snagged up this whole box of wiper motors the other day in the Hoard, and a lot of that over there I haven't had a chance to get through, so it's probably not gonna go with us. But oh yeah, check out these sweet MacGyver devices. I needed a way to hang our banners up, so I couldn't figure it out. So I said, okay, these mini Home Depot buckets and a bag of Quikrete and conduit. I mean, if it works, is it really dumb? It's kind of dumb, but hope it works. But I'm done. I think we should call it for the night. All right, well, I got about 3 hours of sleep and just dropped the kids off at school. So the dogs and I, instead of going and packing everything up, running over to another buddy's house because he has a few things he wants to give me for the swap meet. We did a little bartering, so I'm gonna go do that, and that's gonna put me way behind. So, you know, just procrastination. That's my middle name. So I just made it back from my buddy Matt's place, and he left me a bunch of stuff. So thanks, Matt, and you're also a jerk. So I got about an hour and 20 minutes. I got to get all this stuff loaded in a crew cab Ford with a 5.5 foot bed. So I'm gonna play a little Tetris here, but this is gonna suck. Alrighty, I'm done-ish, I guess. I'm really out of time. I'm supposed to meet my buddy Jeremy in about 20 minutes, and it's about a 22-minute drive, so I got it in. It's a lot. Goal is trying not to blow out your windows of your pickup truck when you're going to the swap meet. It gets kind of expensive, but there's not much spare room in here, so let's hit the road. So the fun thing is this year they've taken one of the auditorium rooms down because they didn't have enough people to fill it, but we're all jammed in here, so dang it, now I've got neighbors this year and a lot of crap to set up. Well, I've got the majority of the booth set up, and holy smokes, it is a bunch, but there's a new banner. Need to throw a second one on the front of the table, but wow, we've got crud galore. So maybe another 20-30 minutes and I'll be done. Well, that's gonna do it for part one of our swap meet journey, and I am completely exhausted. You know, I went to bed at 3 a.m. and got back up at 6, got the kids ready for school, and spent the last 5 hours setting all this stuff back up. Maybe next year I'll plan ahead and start maybe 2 weeks early. If you guys haven't, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you come back for part 2 of our series, because Kiddo is gonna come work with dear old dad the next couple days, and it's always just a freaking blast. Well, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.